What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 27 of the walkthrough. Picking up from the Firelink Shrine. So I wanted to do a shorter episode to help you guys lock in your endings. So we have spoke before about 3 trophy endings. One is the regular ending you're going to get for just playing the game. We're going to be going for the Lord of Hollow endings, as it is the most hitting ending to get. This involves doing Yuri's questline, Yoel's questline, and then Henri's questline to lock in your marriage, which is the final step for that ending. Aside from that, you could also turn in the Firekeeper's Eyes. So after the final boss, there'll be a summon sign. You'll go to that for that ending, or rest of the bonfire for Lord of Hollow endings, or you can cleanse yourself with the Dark Sigil and then rest at the final boss fire for your standard ending. So we will cover this again towards the end of the series. When we're actually going for those endings. But for now, for the walkthrough, I would like to go ahead and finish locking in this ending. So we're going to have to go on over to Yuria, make sure her dialogue is, fully exhausted. And then from there, just to cover a few quick things. So you got the levels from Yoel early on. Draw a true strength 5 times. That made him die, then brought Yuria in. Yuria asked you to kill Orbeck. That'll be the first thing she requests of you. After killing Orbeck and giving her his ashes, then she's going to bring up the marriage with Henri, and that is the last step. So for this episode, the wedding, is what we're going to be mainly focused on. So before we go over there, let's all just make sure you are exhausted on her dialogue. She's already, brung up Orbeck, and then she's already brung Henri and the wedding up to you. You are going to need this for, these events to trigger. So we've already done this.
Good tide, the time is
just to go over it again.
The girl awaits thee in the hidden dark moon chamber.
So she mentions the Dark Moon Chamber, the hidden Dark Moon Chamber on the way to Anor Londo. This is actually a secret area we showed a while back, right after Pontiff Sullivan. You had to smack a statue, a wall was revealed, so that's going to be our next stop. So for this, we need to jump on over to the Pontiff Sullivan boss fight and just head back up from there. Alright, so all we're going to be doing is taking our shortcut back up and running straight for the ladder that we accessed while we were here. And like I said, if you remember, we went up to the rooftops and that's where that hidden chamber was. So now that we're here, the gentleman that's going to look a lot like Yoel, he's like the mage guy that was following Henri, who is pretending to be a statue at the church of Gorska until we smacked him. Well, he was using a spell called Chameleon, so doing this ending will also get you that spell you're going to need for Platinum. So going back up, if he's not in that location, you missed something, but, if you have followed along, he will be there. You probably don't have to take out this guy, but, it's pretty narrow. Ooh, that's close. That's close. That's pretty narrow space, so I'm going to go ahead and just take him out here. See what he got. Titanite, that's okay. Remember, these guys can drop their armor, shield, and weapon, and all of it is considered to be, very top tier. Some of the best in the game.
Welcome.
Alright, so this is the gentleman I was referencing. So, what he's going to do is give you your ceremonial sword, which is going to be used for your wedding, right? Now, we'll get our spell from him, but not until we head back out. So, Henri's going to be down here. She's turned hollow. She's actually already dead. It's not your typical wedding. It's very dark. It is Dark Souls. So, what we're going to have to do is take that ceremonial sword and shove it right through her face. It's really dark, twisted stuff here. But with that is, going to be how you are wed and you're ready to be the Lord of Hollows. Now, this is something you really won't know unless you've been through the game, but you could actually get Henri's weapon here as well. Now, to do this, what we're going to have to do is go through your cutscene here, and instead of running just straight out the door, you're going to want to quit, then load back in. So we will go ahead and show the cutscene, just so you guys can see it play out. Alright, so that gets you 3 more Dark Sigils. We had 5 before this from doing other events in this quest, so make sure you have the full 8 down here. That's what locks in your ending. Accumulating at least 8 Dark Sigils, for your accumulated curse, right? So now that you have 8, you are tied into that ending. I think you get like 2 for doing Yoel's portion, another 3 for killing Orbeck, or I can't actually remember. All I know is we need 8. This was in earlier notes that we had, so forgive me for not having it in front of me, but if you've done everything I've done, you have this. Now, as mentioned, we're going to quit out, load back in. This way we can get Honorary Straight Sword. It's actually really crazy too, because luck is a stat to boost your item, your item discovery for farming. However, this is a very obscure build. You could actually use luck as a damage stat, which it isn't naturally. However, the more luck you have, the more damage you will have with her weapon. So it's really wild, really obscure. But there's no actual stat under scaling for luck. It's just something you know from reading about the weapon. So if you went through the game doing enough, strength and dex for weapon requirements, then just did like a strictly luck build, you could use this weapon. So like I said, there's nothing under attribute bonus for luck, but if you were to read about it right down here, so its attacks are boosted by that elusive essential property unique to humans, luck. So more luck, more damage, even though it's not a typical damage stat. So it's just a very obscure build hidden within the game, in my opinion. Really cool. So I'll leave that up for a second for you guys to read this. I guess just to say too, 10 strength and 10 dex. This is what most builds will have at the start, so you could typically do a pure luck build. I mean, you get all types of armor drops and weapon drops throughout your playthrough. But, I mean, your main weapon isn't going to come to the very end of the game, as there's only one weapon that's going to scale with luck. On our way back out, don't know why this guy's dead, don't know how he dies, but he does give you the Chameleon spell, so let's go and pick that up. It just naturally happens, I guess, because he's done what he was supposed to do. He linked you guys up, set the wedding, and then once his duties were done, he just naturally died, and you will need that spell for your Platinum Trophy, so, got to do it, right? Now, from this point, you should be locked in for the ending. So just to cover this one last time, doing Yuria and Yoel's quest will tie you in for that ending. You have to have 8 Dark Sigils. If you give the Firekeeper's Eyes from the Untended Grave, that will lock in your other ending. So after you take out the final boss, the bonfire will be there, and so will be a summon sign. So the summon sign will get you one ending. Interacting with the bonfire is actually going to give you the ending, which we went for and did all this work, which is your Lord of Hollows. Then the other ending, all you would have to do is cleanse this by giving the Firekeeper Soul. That will take away the Dark Sigil. Remove the curse, and then interacting with the final bonfire would just give you the traditional ending. Now that's 3. There's one more ending too. It's the 4th ending, which you would do is give the Firekeeper's Eyes. You'd summon her, then right before the last cutscene, you got like 10 seconds, you'd have to smack her, and that would be a hidden ending, but this one is not trophy related, at all. So you guys could do it your own time. It does take 3 playthroughs for your platinum, but there's actually, no trophy that you are going to get, right? So with this, guys, I hope this guide has helped you guys out to understand the endings. As I said, they can be a little bit confusing. There's a lot of steps, there's a lot of endings, and they all play a bit differently. You have 3 playthroughs to get your platinum. I will go through one ending each one, or you guys feel more than free to back up your saves. But either way, guys, with that, we're going to wrap on up. So as always, I do appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope this has helped, and we will catch you back here shortly.